I must say it's definitely an honor to be serving as the facilitator of this session. And in fact, when I received the call from Usainu that I've been identified to be the facilitator or to be a facilitator at the TAFCON, trust me, I had goosebumps. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Because last year I was here, and in fact, I was not even inside, and I did not know what was even happening in here because I was at the registration desk. Thanks to Juka. But today I'm here, alhamdulillah, serving as a facilitator, and I'd like to thank the TAFCON team for entrusting me this role. Please join me, thank them as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Usainu and team. So I was told that the discussion is going to be centered on unleashing the youth potential. And the first thing that came to my mind was, why unleash youth potential in the first place? And I thought that if we do not unleash the potential of the youth, we are not only limiting their chances of becoming successful, but also preventing our countries from progressing, from massive progression. And so I'm not surprised that this year's TAFCON, we are bringing everyone together, including the most vulnerable, so that we can all have a say in the national development process. And so I'm not surprised that this platform got younger at this moment, because I know that Uncle Taf is someone that is so much particular about the development of young people that you wouldn't know kan moy jarbatam or kan moy domam. Everyone is, you know, he's everyone's uncle and father. So it's definitely an honor for young people to have a say in this TAFCON, fourth edition of the TAFCON conference happening here at Coral Beach Hotel. So I did say that it is important to include the youth in the development process, because young people constitute more than half of the country's population. And so our role in the national development process is indeed immense. And so therefore, we have to be included in the process. And we often say that young people are the agents of change, but one thing we forget is, what do we do to make the change? And that is why today it's definitely an honor to be sharing this platform with young people who are very much industrious and who are all involved in one thing or the other, and they are all also contributing to their quarter towards the national development process. And I think at this point I have the singular honor to introduce to you Asan Jallow, and he will be speaking on nurturing the creativity of the youth, innovation, startups, and the role of technology. And in that, it's about showcasing the creativity of the youth and exploring ways and means of providing opportunities for as many young people as possible, particularly women and differently abled people. Join me, welcome Asan Jallow. The floor is yours.
I think the next December we will be saying that the biggest thing that happens in December is TAFCON. I have no doubt about that. I'm really excited to be part of this, and it's really quite touching. And when I was making inquiries about what are the expectations for me to sit here and what do people want to hear, and the things that I've heard is to talk about my journey. And through my journey, I hope I would be able to answer the questions that are talking on the topic of discussion today. And for me, what I am doing today, I can't talk about without talking about the early days of my life and my upbringing. That to a certain extent, really, to a large extent, shaped what I am doing today and how I looked at things. So I grew up in the North Bank, and my father, he was late. He passed away when I was 5, leaving behind me and my younger brother. And I always used to hear my mom, when she talks to her friends, she always used to say, you know, the kid's dad told me that I wouldn't.
It's okay. Yeah, we all have a story. It's fine.
If you don't educate my children. He used to tell me that, he used to tell her friends that the kid's father said that I won't forgive you if you don't educate my children. And I noticed that has been usually the direction of my mother, and all her priorities was educating me and my little brother. And so her primary focus was, she used to teach at a primary school at a nearby village. Every day when she comes from work, she brings me books and puzzles to fix. So that really kind of shaped the way I looked at things. I was able to be aware of more than just my environment, but about the world at large, and learned about electronics, etc. So the books and puzzles really helped me a lot in terms of trying to learn the skills that I needed to be where I want to see myself in the next few years in my life. But that fast forwards us to 2005, when two great events happened. The first thing was that a library was built in my home village by the Gambian School Trust. Hillary and Steve are here. They run the Gambian School Trust. And I was already a bookworm, so I used to go there like on a daily basis. And the other thing that happened in 2005 is that I used a computer for the first time. I've been reading about computers all this while, but I never used it. So I really get to have a feel, and I can still remember the excitement that I felt that day that I used the computer for the first time in 2005. And fast forward 2006, something interesting that happened. Fast forward 2006, something interesting that happened was I discovered email. So one day I just crossed the river. I walked into an internet cafe. I say, "Assalamu alaikum, will lend my box." Then the concept of mailboxes are still in people's heads. I will tell you why that email address is important. They asked me my name. I told them my name. What's your surname? I told them. What do you want to make your email address? I had no clue. And they said, okay, Asu Jallow 2006. I never liked the name Asu, by the way. And because I was Hassan Jallow, they just said Asu Jallow 2006. I was so excited about this email. It was my most cherished possession. So imagine, I went to high school in 2008 to Newsrat, and imagine somebody who had to cross the river to use an internet cafe, to use the internet, and I came to this school that had Wi-Fi. That was so exciting. But the problem was that the Wi-Fi had a password, and only the staff were using it. So just like any teenager in my situation, what I did was I hacked the Wi-Fi. And I don't know whether this is because of the teenage thing, but not only did I hack it, but I locked out all the staff and also the ISP. So this was one of the notable things that happened when I was in high school, and I developed a very good relationship with the principal as a result. Because one mistake I did was when I was changing the Wi-Fi name, it picked up my computer name and it said Hassan PC Network. So they went around the school looking for Hassan PC Network. And you can imagine that wouldn't be a very difficult search to find a Hassan who is interested in computers. So, and I also forgot something really interesting that happened when I was in SL. I managed to buy myself a computer. And my mom used to tell me, Hassan, low matter, soko dogu dogo buy. Because I have that habit of, I just want something, I have to go and I can't stop. So I got myself a computer. Then there was no electricity in SL. So we had a generator. How I used to go by that, I used to teach my junior school teachers for computer classes, and they will buy fuel for the generator, and I'll have more time to use the computer with my friends. So, some interesting things happened in high school. One of the things was I knew about computer programming, and I think the greatest blessing that I've had is the ability to see my ignorance, the ability to look at what other people are doing, not only within my environment, but also outside of my environment, and to use that to gauge and understand really, I have a lot to learn. I believe in the statement, I don't really know who said it, but the longer the radius of your knowledge, the larger the circumference of your ignorance. And that kind of really guides me until today. At any point in my life, I am looking at somebody and I'm saying, I want to be like that guy. And I always go to them and I tell them, Uncle Tough knows, I told him. Yeah, so with that, I built my high school's first website. I won't go into the story how I figured out how to make websites. And I also started learning to code. Fast forward, I went to university. I spent it 2 years before going to university. I spent it in my bedroom. I learned a variety of subjects in the technology industry, and I built a website, a software for the Chamber of Commerce. They didn't ask me. I just
found out that they're using a typewriter in 2015 to generate certificates of origin. I said, that is awful. And I built a software solution. I took it to them. They were so excited. And at second year in university, I'm like, I built a software that is a state-level software that authenticates all the exports that leave the Gambia. I bet I can do this a lot of times for many institutions that have a similar problem. So that's when I started focusing full-time. When I was in high school, I knew I wanted to do two things. I either work for Google or start my own startup. And last few months ago, I actually had a job opportunity to work at Google. Oh. And my team, I believe in them. And we are going to cut through this. And I believe that with technology, we can solve a lot of problems in society. And every day, what we do is centered around how do we look around our environment and build technological solutions that can solve the problems that we have within our environment. And of course, people like me, there's one mistake we always make. We tend to think every technology can solve every problem, right? I bet if you had a conversation with me, you tell me you can't cook, I'll probably tell you, let me build you a robot to teach you to cook. But this is not practical because technology, like Kentaro Toyama says in his book, The Geek Heresy, technology is just an amplification of the interest of people. So technology, you're trying to accomplish something or you have a problem, technology will only facilitate that and amplify your goals at a more accurate and more precise context. So, so that is what we have been doing for the past few years. We were able to roll out more than 20 solutions out there, technology solutions in terms of websites and mobile apps. I'm sure some of you have heard of the DECA app and the Marble election application. We worked on those two projects. And I think that as far as using technology, what role technology can play in our society, it's, like I said, it's just an amplification, or Kentaro Toyama said, of our interests. So we need to start focusing on how we can leverage technology to do more the redundant tasks that we do every day. How do we use technology to automate these things as opposed to doing it the hard way? So I think this should be our primary goal. If we just focus on that, we look at the problems that we have in society and focus on how do we use technology to solve these problems as opposed to looking at a piece of technology and thinking about what we can do with them. I see on there that my time is just about to wrap up, that I want to make some very important points. So if you would have a takeaway from this discussion, you have a problem, look at what a piece of technology can do to solve that problem. And at Asutech, we really believe in the potential of technology and how we can use it. And I believe in a couple of methodologies. And I believe in the lack of rigidity in a workspace. Because if you want a creative environment, you want to create an environment where everybody feels comfortable and they are left upon their nature. And you will be able to leverage the different and diverse skill sets of your team and use that to solve problems in society. And this is more advantageous if you are a good leader, because if you come in and you say something, the chances that they will buy into your idea are very high, because you will make smart decisions, but it's not necessarily the best decision. So I believe in inclusiveness and working horizontally, practically. Theoretically, we know how the hierarchy should be, but practically, how do we work together as a team to solve some of these problems that we have in society. And because one of the things that we should keep an eye on is the fact that you can formalize complexity. I can teach you calculus, you can learn computer programming, but there's one thing that you cannot formalize, you cannot teach, and that's creativity. And creativity is something that we're really underestimating over here. And for some reason, I don't get marveled by complexity, but I easily get fascinated by creativity. And to have a creative environment in this country, we should start losing up and remove all the rigidity. Like, you don't have to go to work to dress a certain way. In fact, I can just imagine what stress that will put on me if I have to think of how I need to look like before getting to work. Like, I've been to Google campus, and there's this joke in Silicon Valley that Google employees dress like homeless people. By no means don't do this. This has nothing to do with anything, but it's just the circumstances that create that kind of environment, So I think we should start focusing on the substantial things. Let's focus on goals and results and targets, and less on just somebody merely showing up at work. Like, you showed up at work, you get paid, you go home. So one of the challenges I have a lot of friends who have 9 to 5s, all right? So they go to work, 9 to 5, they come home. Whether they work or not, I don't know, but they still get paid anyway. I don't work, I don't get paid, all right? By that I mean, if I don't focus on results, just by merely going to the office is not enough for me. So I can't be like that. So for the past 2 months, every single day I have gone to work. No day is an exception. And we have not accomplished much, but there's one thing that we have accomplished in Asotec that is just a dream for a lot of multinational corporations around the world. And that is, we don't have a Sunday. Ask me what a Sunday is. Ask me, what is a Sunday?
What is a Sunday?
A Sunday is a day you wake up in the morning and you say, oh my God, it's Monday tomorrow. What do I mean by that? Our team, they are so motivated and they so believe in what we want to accomplish and what we want to do that tomorrow doesn't feel like a burden. Tomorrow is just another adventure. As a matter of fact, you don't have to come tomorrow. What we need from you is to just get it done. So I thank you all for giving me this opportunity and giving me this platform.
Thank you. That we just get it done. I think Asu got used to all those pitching contest stuff that he no longer sits when he's giving speeches, right? But you got so much into it, and I so love your energy and passion. And you just remind me of those people back in Daos when we say, "Hi, ki watch abu base lady," but kis nga watch abu base is when you is a class we do the gel force second. That's when we know what time it is. A round of applause for Asu one more time for that wonderful and very inspirational speech. And I just want to move on to our next speaker, who happens to be our CC, also speaking on the same theme as ASU, and that is nurturing the creativity of the youth, innovation, startups, and the role of technology. How can we do this now?
Good afternoon to everyone. I said good afternoon. Good. I want to feel the vibrant. Since we're youth, I want to see the roof vibrating. Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
Good. Everybody's awake. So like the moderator said, my name is Ndaya Osise, and I'm the founder and CEO of Nature's Gift Care, a proud mom of 4 beautiful princesses and so 2 beautiful princesses and 2 handsome young boys. So, and a student at the International Open University. I'm indeed honored and privileged to be a speaker. So I will not just say a speaker, I will say a motivator for the youth out here today. So speaking is one thing, but motivating is another. So I will take the title motivator. So, and I hope before we leave here, all of us will be motivated. And I want to just reflect back before I go on with the topic today. Being a daughter of a mom who's an entrepreneur, and she was a single mom. So my mother had no male child, and and those days you will hear like, well, I'm a dumbo girl. So we are all girls, and and she had to cross borders to come here and feed us, educate us, and put us through life. So she was doing tie and dye, and then she was alone. So I was like, I had to help her. So I just entered the business whereby she sells anything. If she makes anything, I'll go and sell it and get 10% out of it. So I was exposed to the act of selling at a very early stage. So when I went to my first, the first selling I did, I came home with like $1,000, and from every 300, my mother will remove $50 and put aside. And when I was done, I said, okay, now I have money. I didn't even suffer. So the following day, I was like, Mom, let me go and sell. So I started at a very early stage, but it didn't stop me from going to school and then having my education on track. So when I graduated, I was a teacher. I was at the Ministry of Education with St. Augustine Senior Secondary School as an English and Agri teacher. I was there for 2 years, and it was a nice experience. But one day I just woke up and said, okay, I'm not happy about this. This is not what I want to be. Even though I'm helping students, but I want to find my purpose. So I started with one thing. I said, before I quit, let me just do a sample selling and see how people are going to react to it, because you don't have to leave what you're doing for nothing. So I took my salary, I went and bought some cosmetic products, and then I sold it. When I sold it, the profit was even more than my salary. So I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. I tried another time and things were working. So I had just to go and render my resignation letter. And people were like, are you crazy? How can you leave your job for something that's not sustainable? I said, the sustainability of what I'm doing depends on how I handle it. So this battle is my journey, and whatever comes out of it depends on how I treat it. So I have been in this entrepreneurship journey for about a decade, going from one business circle to the other, still searching for my purpose. And one day I just said to my husband, I'm doing selling, but I want to impact lives. When I look around, I see so many people that I can actually impact their lives. I see problems that I know I can provide solutions to. How can I do this? My husband told me, you just need to keep searching. Hopefully you'll find it out one day. And he has been so motivational. He has been so encouraging, because he has been the backbone of whatever I am today. So before I actually go out to the main thing, and I just want to say the 5 points. The first and foremost is believe in yourself. As youth, as individuals, as women, as men, we have to believe in yourself and your dreams, and be passionate about what you do. Be passionate about what you do. Set realistic goals and put time frames, because goals without time, you can achieve them in the next 100 years, and who knows whether we have that time. And never give up. We should never give up. If you are passionate about something and you wish to get there, you should never give up. Because why I say never give up, every successful person has a rough story to tell. He or she has a rough story to tell. So if you keep pushing and then you keep working for what you think is the right path for you, you will get there. And the second thing is every entrepreneur should overcome or believe in yourself and your dreams. Like I said earlier, be passionate about what you do. And then if you know exactly what you are doing, because I have this slogan that I always want to emphasize to my mentees. When they come up and tell me I want to do something, and then I will ask them what thing, they say, I don't know. And I will always tell them, you cannot do anything about something that you know nothing about. That's the first step I tell them. You cannot do anything about something that you know nothing about. So you have to go on your self-finding venture. Just find out what you are passionate about. If you don't know anything about it, learn and then start what you want to start. And then the second bullet point is, most of the time I hear people will say, I don't have what it takes to start my dream. I don't have what it takes to go out there and then work. But I always encourage youth to start slow and start small and then grow big. Why it is very important to start small is when you are small, you can easily recover your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. When you fail, you come up, you fall down, you come up again, do things. But when you start big, the chances are you will crash. Because I myself started my first business with $80,000, but I didn't do my homework properly. I just woke up one day, I have this nice and beautiful idea, and then I didn't do a proper market research. I started the business, and it failed. It failed. So when I was about to start my second business, I only had $18,000 in my bank account. And I was like, okay, I need to use this money wisely. I went to the neighborhood. I asked them what they wanted. And when they came and they gave me what they wanted, and I tailored my business to the customer's need. And I'm happy that today that business is worth more than $50,000. So we should always start small and grow big. And don't be like, if I launch my small idea, somebody's going to steal it. Nobody can steal your dreams. Nobody can steal your dream. They can emulate you, they can photocopy you, and which is actually good, because nobody wants to emulate a bad thing. If you do something and people emulate you, then that means what you are doing is good. So you should be happy about it. But what makes us different is you should always try to have an edge over your competitors by coming up with something innovative. Even though it's the same, but it should be different. Different in a way that customers will always rush for your products or your services or whatever you are providing. And this third point is let us collaborate as youth. The power of collaboration is very, very strong. Let us collaborate, come together, work as a youth, give each other ideas. And then you will be like, you never know, because a life you touch today, you don't know how many lives that one can impact. Because I can give a clear testimony of the Ellika de Jola Queen. She has this Dance Fusion Academy. She reached out to me 6 months ago. She was like, I have this dream, because we have been schoolmates. She used to dance by then, and she was very passionate about it. I know how passionate she was about dancing. She came out to me and said, I have this business that I want to do. I need to do this. I was like, okay, wait. You cannot do all this by yourself. You have to reach out. People are there who can help. So I just give her a few directions, and I'm happy that today she has launched her brand, and she's impacting lives. She did an audition just 2 weeks ago, which was actually very successful. So I could have just said, no, dancing is not my area, but I didn't do that. I just go there, reach out for help. People are out there who actually can help you, and it really worked. So, and the last but not the least is the young people really need to start engaging in learning and utilizing the power of technology positively. Let us use social media and put a positive image, build ourselves a career, and change your community for the better. Example of this scenario is the youth diaspora mentoring scheme that some of us are actually benefiting from. It's actually done online. They use the Zoom video, and then the mentors are in the diaspora. We are here, and they are changing us. That's the power of social media. Let us use it positively. Let us use social media positively. And secondly, I am a mom. I don't have time to go to the Gambia University. I went to the international university, which is actually online. So I'm doing my bachelor's with technology, which I couldn't have done with my kids. So technology has a lot of things to offer. And this year, the highest paid YouTuber is a 7-year-old boy by the name Ryan, who earned $22 million just by reviewing kids for toys. And he's doing that with social media. So I just want us to use social media positively as youth, as individuals, and then work towards building a vibrant and positive society, because we are the leaders, I want to say tomorrow, today, and the future. Thank you all.
Thank you. She said that we should not be afraid to start small while thinking big. I think when I started working at GRTS, or when I started going to GRTS, one of my bosses is here, so I see you, Char, as well. When I started at GRTS, I was 17 years old, and I started as an intern, graduated fresh from high school. And when we were there, we were three. It was three of us, three interns. We were all girls. And for them, they had no passion for journalism. I did not even know at that point what I was doing, because I was not even supposed to go there in the first place. I applied for another institution. But after the CEO went through my letter and saw my CV and everything, she felt that maybe I should go to GRTS, maybe because what I was doing kind of tallies with that. So I said, okay, no problem, because I was going to the radio when I was 13 years. So all of that was in my CV. And so we went and we started doing the job. And to be honest, it was not easy. It was not easy. Along the line, they had to go. But I still was there. And I also, during the process, started going to university. And at this point, I was not coming on TV. I was doing the production for those that are going to be on TV to have a content to show on their programs. I was doing the groundwork. I would pick the boxes. I would go with the cameraman into the streets. I would be at work till 8:30. People will close early and I'll be still there. I mean, what that just showed along the process was I started loving the job, but along the line I realized that I had to give it my all if I wanted to gain something out of it. Because we oftentimes say that we the young people, we are not given the opportunities at some point. But I think what we the young people should also do at some point is prove ourselves that we can do this. And at a point I proved myself so much so that it was going to be difficult to not get that job again. Because I proved that I am efficient for this, that I am made for this. So I got to love the job, and I made it and I did it with so much passion that someone else that's watching me probably would fall in love with themselves and even fall in love with the job that they're doing. And that's the purpose of loving what you do. And along the line, you never know what comes out of it. And at this point, I'd like to invite on our last speaker that you all will attest to the fact that he's been really, really outstanding. And I like the fact that Oprah said, mistakes are just there to guide you to a different direction. And you are not defined by what people think you to be. What you have to do is identify your purpose and live it. And I'm pretty sure that Emil has identified his purpose and he's definitely living it. And at this point, I'd like to invite him to share his story and tell us how he was able to overcome a bit of a hurdle that served as a hindrance towards the stage that he is today, or towards achieving his goals. Emil.
Good afternoon to you all. My name is Fatou. I'm the founder and the farm manager of MS Poultry Farm. So my presentation is divided into two. First of all, I will talk about overcoming the adversities and the challenges. Then I will discuss on the main thing, that is the roadmap to the future. So the journey to poultry. My journey started late last year when I attended the Elite Summer Camp, that is the entrepreneurship, leadership and ICT organized by Global Youth Innovation Network, that is in Gambia. From there, I meet up with some farmers, and also I meet up with some poultry farmers and other young entrepreneurs. By then, I was doing the IT. Last 13 months, 14 months ago, I was doing IT. But after I met with these farmers, they explained to me about agriculture, then I fall in love with it. Then from there, I also attend another training organized by NEDI. Then I meet up with some poultry farmers there. Like I really start building much interest in poultry, because I realized that agriculture is the backbone of the economy. And youths in the Gambia don't tend to do agriculture because they think that it is for the primitive people, that people living in the rural end. And in the world, what we are about to face is food insecurity. So you've been into agriculture, the demand for food is already there. Maybe you have to come with business solution to make sure that the things that you produce will be put to the market and you make money out of it. So, and in the Gambia, after I was doing my research in poultry, I realized that 95% of our poultry products is imported. And most of this, especially in the egg sector, which I am focused on now, the eggs are either rotten or unhealthy. Why are they rotten or unhealthy? Because the duration that they spend. In the European farms, the moment they produce it, when they put it in the European supermarket, 2 weeks at max, it will go off. So this is what our businessmen will go and buy and bring it to us. So they are buying like maybe not excellent product, but they are buying maybe average or bad product, bringing it to us. So when I was making my research, I came across a video by a man called Mohamed Sanya. Last year he was here. This was the man who started with 5 chicken. And today he has 32,500 chicken. And in the Gambia. And he is 24 years old and he employed 26 people. I said to myself, if he can do it, I can do it too. And it took me 3 months from attending those trainings in November, December. It took me 3 months to make research in the poultry industry. Then I meet up with many poultry farmers, then make all my research. Then I realized that there's a potential for this business. So early in January, I consulted my father, then we started construction of the farm. When I approached my dad to tell him, I want to do poultry, he tells me, like, for you, every time you bring an idea, go raise fund for yourself, you start. So for me, I'm kind of person with anything that I want to do, I will do it. After he told me that, he was testing me in the beginning. Then I go within 1 month, 2 months, I have 10,000 of my own money, then bring it to him. So every time, I'll be bringing contractors to my house. Okay, we are taking measurement, we are doing the calculation. My dad told me, you see, if you are starting a construction, go and start. But every time, if you want to calculate, your project will never kickstart. So I start with the little saving I have, then he come and help me. And everything, the farm was done by, the construction took 1 month from January 1st, from December 31st to January 31st. So and the farm was officially opened in 2018. But the business was registered in 2017, December. Why I did this is because to commit myself. And after I registered the business, I don't even start put it on my social media because I'm a social media guy, that ML Fatou has decided to leave IT to do poultry. So that the entire world can know that, okay, now I'm committed to this. So if I don't do this, if I don't get into poultry, people will hold me accountable. So I started the poultry, and I started with 100 birds, 100 broilers as a pilot test. So those 100 broilers, they go successful, but I do not make any profit. Whilst I was getting into the poultry industry, all my mind was driven about, okay, within 1 year, I'll become a millionaire and I'll travel over the world and I'll buy Range Rovers and live a fancy life. But when I started the business, way different, but the person kept me there. So after the 100, that is when the Youth Empowerment Project Milligrams came out, then I applied and I'm so lucky to be granted. And I also applied for the Rural Youth Award organized by Jean, and I came out as the second runner-up. And also one of my mentors, Alaji Jallo, he's working at Suna, so they also helped me financially. So currently the business is about 10 months to 12 months old, and I started with 100 broilers. So between February to June, we produce over 700 broilers. And currently we switched to the layers. So I started with 350 layers, but I lose 40% due to disease outbreak at the 10 weeks. So I now have 200. They start the production. So overcoming the challenges. So some of the challenges that I faced in the beginning was access to finance. But I overcome this through family support and also grant like the Youth Empowerment Project and others. And also marketing, because in poultry I realized that the cost of production for the local chicken is much more than the imported one. But I figured this out by partnering with other poultry farmers and also by dealing with like chicken vendors at the market. And also other thing is the practical knowledge. By the way, when I was getting into the industry, I did not know much about the poultry industry, but I learned through my experiences and also from other experienced poultry farmers. And also I would like to appreciate the support, because me being here is through a lot of factors. And also support, as individual support from the family level, and also the CEO of Suna Alhaji Jallo, Mohamed Idris Njia of Jean, Almamo Fati, the CEO of Supersonics, Aissatou Konate, IC Business Solution, Modu NSJ Farm Fresh, Ablango, Mohamed Sanya, Poultry Farmers, and other of my friends. So at the institutional level, Youth Empowerment Project, Jean Gambia, Empretech, NEDI, GCCI, GYCC, Suna Startup Incubator University of the Gambia, and the Top Africa Foundation. So the road to the future. My time is limited, but let me just try to summarize. So I would like the youth to take note of this point, because let's study it, and I always watch that video of Father Mustafa Njai. He always said life is divided into 4 quarters, but for me I say the 20-20-20 life plan rule. So in the first 20 years, from 0 to 20, this is the caution stage. This is where people do everything for you. So as a youth, this is the time where you need to take your time not to get involved into serious crimes, because if you get involved into serious crimes or serious things that will hinder you in the future, it will really affect you. And the second 20 years, that is 20 to 40, this is your career development. This is why you choose a particular career to work on it. And your third 20 years, that is 40 to 60, this is innovation and creativity. This is when you already build your career, then you have to be innovative in your career and you have to be creative. And the fourth quarter is the 62 upwards at any time you live. This is the giving back to the community, and I appreciate Father Mustafa Njai, that's what he is doing. So I'll mention some of my few plans to you. For me, like 0 to 20 years, I was raised up in a noble family. Also learned business from my dad, because my dad is a businessman. I also get accepted to university whilst I was still in high school. And the second 20 years, that is right, which I have kickstarted, that is the second quarter. I started my own business, and I want to become a youth inspirational speaker. And I want to get married by the age of 22. Become a millionaire by the age of 23, because yesterday I should have been a millionaire, but I now learned that I have to work hard to become a millionaire before the age of 23 and go for Hajj by 25. And also, on this stage, I will also expand my poultry. So that the third quarter, that is the 40 to 60, I want to retire at the age of 40 to 45. I don't want to work for my whole life. I want to retire, and also like between 40 to 45, between 40 to 60, I mentor young people travel the world, become a billionaire by the age of 50, and volunteer for people. So that is the last quarter, that is 60 to 80. I want to give back 50 to 70% of my net income at that time as charity. I want also go for Hajj yearly and build my legacy as Father Mustafa is doing. And I'm currently working on my farm expansion plan to increase the production capacity from 200 to 2,500. Now I'm into serious business, and this must be completed before December 2020 with the potential to create employment for 6 people. So the approximate cost for the project is between 1.8 million to 2 million. That is about $40,000 to $60,000. And the source of funds may go for ML Poultry Farm, potential investors, and grant and seed investment like the tough startups. And the vision of MS Poultry Farm is to become among the leading producers of quality local eggs in the Gambia. And our short-term goal is to have a production capacity of 100,000 laying chicken in the next 10 years. And we want to enhance poultry farming, and we want to make Gambia food self-sufficient in poultry products. And these are all in line with Sustainable Development Goal 1, 2, and 8 of the United Nations, which is zero poverty, zero poverty, zero hunger, and decent jobs and economic growth. I'll talk about the challenges in the poultry industry. One of the challenges that we face, that is the cheap imported products. This is really affecting a lot of poultry farmers in time of market. For example, people go to the market, to the Serekunda market, and they say a kilo of egg is for 125, and why are you selling it at 160? So this thing all will come. And the high cost of production, example, the feed and the day-old chick. And also the government policies. The government should really help us to protect the local farmers, because if the government are not protecting the local farmers, very soon most of them will run out of business, because we cannot compete with these European farmers. So the government should try to protect the local content. Just give me maybe extra 1 or 2 minutes, let me mention this. So my top 10 advices for youth for success. Please, youth, take note of this. One is you have to have self-belief and personal branding. Self-belief, you have to believe in yourself that you can achieve your dream. Because people will not invest in you, or people will not have confidence in you if you don't believe in yourself. You have to have the belief in yourself. Then personal branding come into play. You have to take a particular industry or a particular sector and you focus on that. But I have seen a lot of youths in the game trying to do all kind of things. So when you ask someone, I know someone in the IT sector, they will not know who. But in the game, when you ask me, I know someone in the IT sector, young person, I'll direct you to Asutech, because I know he's only into IT. If you need maybe video production, Alaji Manga, if you need other things, there are others, because these are people that only focus into this industry. So they are branding themselves to only that industry. And the second thing is you have to study people. Studying people, I don't mean you go to Serekunda market, you study everyone, but studying people, you study successful people, successful entrepreneurs in the Gambia and anywhere in the world. You see that past that day to reach this success. And also you have to study numbers. Entrepreneurship, it all comes to numbers. If I produce 20 crates every day, if I increase my production to 100 crates, what are my costs? How many margins should I make? What are the profits should I make? Should I go in for it or not? You have to study out all this, and you have to study your industry. What are the new things? How can I become competitive than my competitors? What are the new trends in this industry, so that you can upgrade yourself to where the people are operating? Or it's like you'll be operating in the 1980s while people are still in the 21st century, and you'll be out of the market very soon. And have a vision. That is the third point. You need to have a vision. The vision will direct you to where you go. And be passionate. Your passion will keep you going. For me, for the last 6 months, I have not been making any money. I make serious losses, but alhamdulillah, my passion still keep me here. And be focused. You'll have a lot of distraction. When I started my business, a lot of people, they call me. There was this one guy, he called me from the United States. He said, hey, Emel, I want to give you $2 million. I tell him, hey, I don't need $2 million. Even if I have $2 million, I'll put it in the bank. Because right now, I cannot take $2 million and invest into my business. What will I do with that money? So actually, you have to be focused. A lot of distraction will come. Financial distraction will come. Family distraction will come. Social distraction will come. But just be focused on it. And network. As they say, your network is your net worth. You have to network with like-minded people so that you can really grow. And have a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, for you to succeed, it is very, very slim. You need to have a mentor of people who build successful business, or people who are successful in their career to mentor you. These are the people who will guide you and coach you. They are taking this direction. It is wrong. And these are people, you can take 1 month, 2 months to read a book, but these are people who can summarize an entire book for you in just 1 or 2 hours and sit in. And you maintain your personal integrity. This is one of the key things. You can lose money. Money is not the key thing. You can lose money, but the moment you lose your integrity, people will not have the confidence in you. And do not disappoint. Don't disappoint people. to all the young people or to all the young entrepreneurs, your family believe in you. Your friends believe in you. And the people, there are a lot of people who believe in you, so do not disappoint these people. Because if you disappoint them, you are not only disappointed, but you are disappointed the whole nation. For me, example, Tufts Africa Foundation believe in me. This is why they invested 500,000 into me. So I should not let them down. So this is why I will make sure by all means to become successful, and inshallah I will become successful. And the last thing is to impact people. You have to impact people. If you meet anyone, for me, if I meet you, if I cannot add anything into your life, I will not take anything from your life. If you cannot impact someone positively, do not impact people negatively. Because I want to be remembered as someone who, when my name is mentioned, about 85 to 95% of people will remember me for my good stuff, but not for my bad stuff. So, on this note, and I will wrap up. Everything in this world, what you do, everything goes down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter what knowledge you have, what wealth you have, and everything you have, every success and failure is destined by Allah. So as people of religion, let us put our faith in God. And last year, I was here at the TAFCON 2017. I was sitting around that end. I was just a mere participant without no business, with $0. And I told a friend called Mukhtar Jallo, he is right here. You see, next year, 2018, I will be part of the youth speakers to inspire and motivate other youths. And 21 said I have achieved that. And also, I am the first runner-up of the Tough Startup Pitching Competition with a grand prize of $500,000. If I can do it, you can do it too. And I firmly believe in this room, we are having the next Mustafa Njais, we are having the next Mohamed Jas, and the next business tycoon and the movers and shakers in Africa, because I believe in the Gambian youth and I believe in the Gambian dream. And we can really make it here. I thank you all.
Oh, yes. Wow. Emil is indeed a motivational speaker now. Indeed, that was so inspirational. And I can say Emil is really planned. I plan to be a millionaire at the age of 25, right? And whenever I sit, I say, I have 5 years. Because now I'm 20. Now I'm 20, and I always say, now I have 5 years. But I think I'm tempted to reduce that now and bring it about maybe 23, even though I'm not a business person. But let's see how that goes. And I'll come to you for special advice as well. Are you ready to give that to me? Thank you as well. Yes, Uncle Tab has something to say.
Quickly, sorry, I just want to hijack the microphone. This is what happened when you pays the bill. Because, I mean, I think I'm so much into this now. I just want to add value to this. One, I'll take it up from where you left, ML. You're not going to be a Mustafa Njai or a Mohamed Jah, but you're going to be a limited edition. That's what we do. We create limited editions. And that's one of our goals here. You know, we want to produce now, you know, successful entrepreneurs, but limited, better than us. And we'll do it in the numbers. Then, secondly, whilst you were talking, again, the issue of networking, I tried to call my friend in the car. You know Sedima? He's my good friend. And I'm going to get him to mentor you. And we're going to send you on a study tour. So really, as I listen to you, I think you deserve it. And I'm going to work on it. We're going to send you on a study tour to Sedima, and Babakar will be your mentor. To Hassan, actually, I think we need to share your experience with us, our business relationship, so that the youth also will be inspired on that. You don't always have to have money to start a business. We are in business with him, and we are in a barter form. So what we've done is, Hassan is renting from our place. And then he is now doing our website and managing our website. So he's not paying us rent, and we're not also paying for his services. So he takes our place, and then he gets the barter done. Just to wrap up, this we have done in Nigeria. In Nigeria, actually, you know, we went into recession. Nigeria went into recession about 3 years ago. And we had a barter of $1.3 million. It's about 1.2 billion naira, which is about $1.3 million. So, again, as young people, you don't always have to have capital to start a business. What you have is your knowledge. You have your skills. So sell your skills in return for services. I just thought, whilst I'm a bit heated, I'm really carried away with this. I am very emotional. I mean, I nearly dropped a tear when Hassan was saying his story. We all started from humble backgrounds. My mom used to sell mburo liba. I know how to do the mburo liba, but they will tell you. So today, the most successful entrepreneurs in this country came from very humble backgrounds. So don't give up. The other one is somebody when you went emotional about your mom having girls. I have only girls and I love them. So to be proud of it. Be proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Tav. And at this juncture, I would like to open the floor for comments and questions. And I'll start with the other side there. Do we have anyone? Yes, please.
Yeah, so I'm very inspired. I think I also want to be someone like Hassan over there. So I want to know something that you did not want to say. Sorry for asking you this question. Due to your self-education, you learn how to code at a very young age as you developed your first website at high school, and you also hacked the password as we mentioned. So I would like to know, how did you know this? Because there might be someone on the same track as you are. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
The lady.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Fatou Sanya, also studying networking at QIT. I'm inspired by Hassan Jallo, and I think it's high time for us to venture into technology, and it's going to have a very big impact in our lives, because yesterday I was listening to Malik, and I was inspired too, because in this world now, everything should be digitized. Everything should be digital. The last panelist, the other guy was saying that if you go to some offices, you have to get some documents and they'll be all dusty. I think offices and institutions also should venture into that, try to get every document digitized and used with technology. I'm inspired by Modou Lamin Fati in how you start up your businesses, and they are too. I'm inspired by all of you. In life, you have to be certain, and you have to be very firm, and you have to have that self-esteem, and then look up to your parents. Like, I heard a story told me by a friend that he saw it on a website by Bill Gates. Bill Gates went to a restaurant, and then he gave a tip of $5 to a servant. And she asked, you're the billionaire, and then everybody's looking up to you. Your daughter was here, she gave me $50,000 as a tip. And you're the richest, you gave me only $5. And he was like, my daughter is a daughter of a billionaire, but I am a son of a woodcutter. So I only have $5 to give it to you. She's the daughter of a richest man. So when you look up to your parents, you don't have to overdo things. Do things that are not limited over, but have that passion in doing something that people won't talk about your bigness, or you making yourself as something that is over everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was inspirational. Yes, I'll start with the young man at the back there.
Well, my name is Fari, and first let me thank TAF and TAFCon and TAF Startups for giving me this opportunity to be part of this. For me, I take away a lot from these kind of forums, but the number one thing I take away is this is a celebration of success. And I know Uncle Taf is really keen on that. And in Gambia is the only place I hear a word that people use. You are over-ambitious. I've only heard this in Gambia. I've never heard. I don't think it's in the dictionary anyway. So, and I'm sure you guys up there have heard this word while you are trying to make it. So please, I would like to hear from you if you have heard this word, and what is your reaction, and what do you tell people that use that word, that you are over-ambitious?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Yes.
Madam Chair.
All right, before I come to, okay.
Madam Chair, I'm so sorry to blend into this conversation.
Right.
But I just want to add up what Hassan was talking about.
Okay.
Even though my job is to handle
Yeah,
it.
briefly, yes.
But,
let's go.
I think we are programmed at BAT. Talking about Hassan saying the fact on our creativity, and what I said about being programmed at the back is that, just take a look at this example. If you look at rich families and poor families, you look at a rich family having some kids and buying expensive toys, especially the Lamborghini and the home, giving it to the boy child, and also buying the Cinderella dress, a girl putting on the Cinderella toy. So if you look at that example, it's showing them that and manifesting them that if you grow up, you can do this, you can buy this. And I really appreciate that, and I think it's the best way. But when you look at a poor family, the only thing that they want to do is, if the child wants to dream big, they will tell them, no, the world is very harsh. The real world is very cruel to us. So you cannot dream big. So that is a way of pushing away and putting in fear in their mind. So I have a question to ask Asu, as a very important guy right now, and he talked about technology. So if we want to be great, I think we should use our mind 100%. And that's starting by creating something very creative for the young people and children in general. And I care for children creating something like an app. So how far, Asu, are you doing to create an app that will unleash the children's potentials and their talent at a younger age? Because I believe that if your mom bought those books and puzzles for you to fix, showing you that you can do anything, you can tackle any problem that you face in society at a very young age, I think if your team bring up something very good with those apps, right, showing young people and children that you can use this app in the Gambia, and it's a Gambian who made this app, that you can use it to fix problems, to use it as a media, to share this type of initiative and platforms.
Yes, thank you,
like,
Doc.
yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's clear. Now, I see a lot of hands. I just want us to keep it as short as possible so that we can give everyone equal chances, right? Now go to the, Are you raising your finger or are you pointing to her? Okay, yes, her. Yes, then we'll go at the back. I see someone there as well.
Thank you so much. My name is Ramatulai Jalo, and my background is in public health, but I like to say that while most people are addicted to social media, I'm addicted to mentoring young women, which has led me to start small by mentoring other young Gambians with harnessing their passion and unleashing their full potential. You've touched on this, but I want us to remember that you don't have to reach the social perception of success to be a mentor. Like I started by mentoring my younger siblings. So how do we institutionalize it so that mentorship becomes the fiber of the Gambia? You know, most people struggle with figuring out how to start, how to figure out what to study. So how do we make it an everyday part of life where everybody knows that they can be a mentor, even if they didn't even graduate from high school, but they have so much to offer.
Right.
And just one last thing, I have somebody from Burkina Faso here, and he is so inspired by what the youth have to offer, and I think it goes beyond Gambia, and he might go on to Burkina and inspire others as well because of today.
Great. Thank you so much. I saw someone there, the guy with the blue. Okay. No. So I'll move to the back, and then we'll go to the next row. Sorry. Yes. Dauda?
Thank you so much for the wonderful job and the opportunity given. Personally, I think every youth out there has their potential, except for the disabled. By disabled, I don't mean the physically challenged individual. In my definition, disability is one's inability to identify his or her potential. So on that fact, however you look, in as much you cannot identify your potential, in my definition, you are disabled. I want to say that I have this to Mr. Hassan. I'm actually inspired by your story. It's very touching, but then there are a few things you did not mention, and these are the things I actually watch out for in every individual. That is, in the course of your activities, did you at any point come across some challenges that you felt, I think I need to give up? If there is any, I want to know, how did you overcome those challenges? And was there at any point that the society actually helped you or give you a helping hand? If society did, how do you intend to give back to the society?
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I am Sophie Bob from the American International University. My question goes to our CC. Talking of passion, I had wanted to be an auto mechanic engineer that is fitter locally, because I studied it in high school for 4 years, and when I graduated from SAS Hammond Minor High School, there was a big fitter garage opposite my house, and I would always wear my overall and then go there to do some activity, the practical aspect of it. But then at some point, my mom kind of killed my passion, because she would always tell me, this is not meant for ladies. And then at some point, after 2 years, that was in 2014, when I started my university studies, she and my elder sister chose my career for me. That is what I have studied, like computer science. And alhamdulillah, I've just finished. So along the line, I developed some passion for it. And then just imagine that I had failed. Obviously, I could have put the blame on them. So basically, my question is, what recommendations would you give, or what recommendations or advice would you give to people or parents who would always tell exactly what my mom used to tell me, or kill the passion or the dreams that their children have? Thank you.
All right, is that directed to someone or?
Yes, Leo Sise, please.
Okay, thank you. So last one over there, yes, please.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I must admit, I am really inspired by both the three of the panelists. Firstly, I would like to start with Hassan. I know Hassan from a very long time, and then I've seen him do amazing things, and then I'm also a living witness of seeing his talents. And for ML also, ML is a schoolmate at the university, and then we are friends. And oftentimes, we always talk about, all of these things he's been saying, and it's really a pleasure to see him realize his dreams. I could remember when we were supposed to travel to Germany last year, and then he could not make it, and he was telling me, boy, I don't need to travel to make it, and I'll still be here, and then my dream is to travel the whole world in some way. Yeah. I can admit that. So it's really inspiring to see him, and then this is something that all of us could take home with. And then I would like to encourage you to still forward. And congratulations on winning the 500,000.
Thank you so much.
So my name is Jaina Banjai, and I'm an electrical engineer. I just wanted to talk to that young lady that you can achieve your dreams. You have to overcome a lot of obstacles. Like, I only work with all men, but you just have to push through. I just wanted to also add, in terms of getting the youth more involved in technology, we should try and create code camps, and because I feel like putting them hands-on is get them more interested in rather just teaching them, but also getting mentors, like Ramasla said. We definitely need STEM, so hopefully we'll create a mentorship program to inspire the youth. So.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And I now pass on to the panelists to take 3 minutes-ish, just briefly, just summarize the points, and then we go. Yes, let me start with Asu. Yes.
Okay. So, first, the question from the young student right there regarding his interest to potentially break into his school's Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if that's the direction you want to take, but I know that when it comes to learning anything, there are so many resources that are free on the internet. So there's just a lot of knowledge that you can get, that you can put in use in a lot of productive ways right now in your school to solve some of the problems that your school is currently having. So if you go on YouTube, and there's also this website called Code Academy and Free Code Camp. All these are very useful websites that you can use to learn a lot of these things. And I'm also available on Saturdays. You're already aware, you pass by the office sometimes. We have this mentorship platform where we teach people to code. And on Sundays, I teach 3 young girls how to code, and I'm so impressed with the progress that they're making, and the oldest is about 12 years. So I really enjoy doing that. I look forward to it every Sunday. And when it comes to the question regarding digitalization, I'm really excited about the steps Brother Malik Khan is taking towards this direction. And sometimes you can always have a rudimentary solution to these problems, and we should start just looking at these at a very basic level then we can gradually grow. To give you an example, we built the online application system for TAFCon and the registration systems. So yesterday, we can tell you exactly how many people came on time. We can tell you how many people registered and did not show up. So you can have a very simple setting where you can get this data, and the following day you have already applied online. You don't need to fill in an Excel sheet or write on a piece of paper. We can just simply scan a barcode, and that registers you as present. So what I mean by this is, when it comes to digitalization, let's just start looking at the very basic things at the institution level. Then we can find a way to fuse these things to have one massive platform that we can leverage this data in very productive ways. And the last point regarding the challenges, I'll give you an answer that not from me, but from somebody else, and it's Uncle Taff. I asked him one point, what are the challenges that you faced while you do what you have accomplished today? And you know what he told me? Challenges are opportunities. And he moved on to the other thing. And for me, if I cut through the challenge, we don't remember anymore. Like, it's gone, right? Because that's what we have signed up for. It's going to be challenging. So this is what you're going to expect. So if it was easy, everybody will be doing it, all right? So it's really normal to be facing the challenges. And one of the challenges is the financial challenge. That's what any youth entrepreneur will tell you. And if you talk to people, they can give you so many ideas. But what I think one fundamental thing that every youth entrepreneur should keep in mind is to live way beyond your means. It's so important. You can have a separate business account. You can have all these structures in place. At the end of the day, it's your business. You can always find an excuse to spend money. But the important thing is the culture of living way beyond your means, and do not allow the support systems around you to project you beyond your current level, and you try to live a life according to the expectations of people. Really, it really doesn't matter. So you need to watch that very well as a youth entrepreneur. And when it comes to the question of the gentleman about how you can use technology for education and all these kinds of things, you'll be probably shocked to hear this from me, but I don't think technology is the solution to education. Technology is a facilitator. When we need to look back, we need to go back and look at our educational system. It was way better than, it was way better way back than now. We should go back to books. We should go back to training teachers. We should go back to encouraging people to take up teaching. You cannot replace a teacher with a computer. So technology can only facilitate, but it cannot necessarily, you have a very nice app and people become smart all of a sudden. Let me tell you what they will do if you give them an app. They'll close it and go play Angry Birds. That's what the kids will do.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'll pass on to Awa. Yes, briefly.
Thank you so much, Fatou. So the question that the young lady posed to me, I would just like to share my story. Maybe that will kind of motivate her and others in the room. When I started my business, the idea was so good. I fell in love with it. And then there was this pitching competition that was up. So I went, I participated. It was organized by Empreta Gambia. So when I pitched, and then after the pitch, because I'm doing moringa processing, and a lot of people don't know moringa in the Gambia here. Like, you have to break it down, tell them, never die moi moringa, and then they will have to understand. And if you tell them that you can process moringa into coconut tags, moringa grano cake, moringa cherries, and they will like, how do you do that? That's not possible. So that was what happened. So when I pitched my idea, the judge came, he said, no, the idea is fascinating, the idea is good, but it's not doable. I was like, can you please give me the chance to prove to the world this is actually possible? He was like, I'm sorry. I was like, please. He just looked at me with a smile and said, no, you'll be fine. I was like, that night I went home, I was crying, because this is something that I believe is actually doable. So that night when I went home, and you know what was so funny? I was part of the people that were supposed to pitch for the national pitching competition that was organized by Yes Gambia. And I just got kicked out in a small room. So I was like, how am I going to make it out there when I cannot even win here? So I went home. My husband told me, do you think you can actually do this? I said, yes, I can do it. He said, are you sure? I told him yes. So he invested. He was the first investor in my business. He gave me money. I went, I bought everything that was necessary to make the idea look feasible. I developed prototypes. So I went to the Yes pitching competition. I showed them the products that was actually can be made out of the nebe dye, and then luckily I was the winner of that national pitching competition. And I also became the winner of the Empathic Pitching competition with another idea, which is the Moringa water purifier, using the Moringa seeds to purify water for the rural Gambia because they don't have access to clean drinking water. So all these things are actually doable. So when it comes to dreams, you have to be passionate about it, because the only thing that kept me going at that point in time was passion, because I was crashed down, because the idea was so good, and then everything was fine in my head, but how can I prove to people it's actually doable? I have to provide proof, and the proofs did work. Today I'm happy to tell you that my company is up and running, and we are producing fantastic products that can provide a lot of solutions that people are facing in the health sector. Because when you go out there, you see people that are suffering from hypertension, diabetes, asthma, and according to statistics, 22% of infants are chronically malnourished when you go to the rural Gambia, and they have this moringa in abundance, but they don't know how to use it. So our company, we want to help by motivating people using this moringa to elevate, if not all, but 75% of the health issues that the Gambia is facing today. And I believe with determination, focus, pushing forward, we will be able to get there, because it's part of our company's vision to be the largest and the best-selling moringa products company in Africa by 2025, and inshallah we will be there.
Thank you so much. Inshallah, that will happen. Yes, ML. Lastly.
So I will respond to Father's question about being over-ambitious and what are our reactions. Because first of all, I believe as an individual, you have to know the purpose of your life. If you know the purpose of your life, then you know what direction to take. The people that will tell you are over-ambitious, these are people that do not define the purpose of their life or don't know the purpose of your life. So you as an individual who know the purpose of your life, they will be there talking bad about you, criticizing you, but not in front of you, behind you. Because in front of you, they'll be as the best of people, talk nice about you. And for me, the ways I overcome this, I associate myself with positive people. Positive-minded people, these are the people that are moving. Family, going to school, university, in my business, in anything that I am doing, I associate myself with positive-minded people. And as an individual, you have to be humble and disciplined. If you are humble and if you are disciplined, you can overcome all of this. People will talk about you, bad about you. Even if you go to, right now, if you start from here, the Sheraton Hotel, up to Brickham, you are giving each other 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. Some people still talk bad about you. They will say you are bragging, or you are this. At the end of the day, you have to be humble and you have to be disciplined. So about the mentorship thing that the lady mentioned, yeah, mentorship is very important, and I believe that the school-going kids should be mentored, because a lot of them do not know that thing that they want to do. For me, when I was starting, people tell me, do this, do this, do this. But my dad always tell me, my dad, as a successful entrepreneur, he never read the book, read that for that entrepreneurship book. But since at the age of 5, he always tell me, my son, go to school, study hard, and have good results. After you finish your school, start your own business. And through this, you shall create wealth for yourself and people around you, and create employment for people and help those in need. So since that age, my dad always tell me, you don't work for government. These are the things that you will do. It's just now like I start connecting those things with what I am doing. I am so grateful to him, because to him, it is only through entrepreneurship that you can solve that societal need. If you are working for someone, or if you are working from 9 to 5, it is very difficult for you to solve people's problems. But if you are an entrepreneur in anything that you are doing, you are impacting the lives of thousands and millions of people, either directly and indirectly. So my final advice to the young people of the Gambia, or especially those who want to embark on the journey of entrepreneurship. The journey of entrepreneurship is not easy. Father Mustafa being here, being successful, Father and all others being successful, it is not easy. We just see the end product of an entrepreneur, but we don't see the challenges that they go through. But with passion, determination, self-belief, and hard work, we will slowly achieve our dream, and we will make our family members, friends, and the nation at large proud. I thank you all.
Thank you. So, lastly, thank you all so much, and believing in yourself. Last year, my best friend was here as an usher. I was at the registration desk. We'll be here until the program is over. So we go home together. So along the way, we'll say, wow, this program is huge, you know. you know, we think we can be on the program someday soon, yeah? We should also be speakers someday. We'll say that jokingly. But last year, I was not at the point I am now. Last year, she has grown so much within that period. That is why she is the host today. And I've also grown so much in this 1 year period. From being the content provider of the program, to being the director, to being the producer, to being the reporter, and being the presenter. And that is why today I am here as well. So in as much as we want possibilities, let us also, the young people, give it our best all the time, so that people that are watching can tap into those potentials to also utilize that in any way that's possible. And that also goes to me telling the pace setters that let us work together so we can unleash the potentials of the youth. Because when we do that, we will be surprised the amount of change that can bring. Because that change will indeed be ineffable. And from there, I'd like to conclude and thank you all to my panelists for all those wonderful deliberations. And I'd like to now, okay, it looks like we have wonderful gifts here. Just sit for a moment. I believe the MC also has some things to say. Thank you all so much. A round of applause to all my panelists.
Thank you. We'll start with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
maa ngi nuyu ñëpp man Babacar Ngom fondateur et président bu groupe Sedima au Sénégal may am mbégte di ci suma xarit Taf initiative bu rafet bu mu jël pour jàppale ak encadrer xale Africa xale yi Banjul surtout ci entrepreneurship maa ngi ciy kontaan lool nag waaye maa ngi féliciter surtout Mamadou Lamine Fati ci jël bu mu jël 2e prix bu concours start-up bi Taf def ci Gambia maa ngi koy wax ne Sedima dina ko invité fii ci Sénégal ci Dakar pour que mu ñëw passer fii quelques ay bis pour xool liggéey bi nga xam ne Sedima mu ngi ko fii def lu ëpp ñeent fukki at ci wàllu aviculture muy poultry business chicken business ba nekk tey leader ci Africa subsaharienne ñu ngi koy féliciter di féliciter famille yi ak ñëpp bu baax a baax a baax merci Taf congratulations salaamaaleykum mbokki Banjul